ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back to ESL Pro League. We just got done with Kabul. It was a big win for Cloud9. Now we're going to move on to the second matchup in this doubleheader here as the season comes to an end. Playoff things on the line. Playoff implications on the line. That's what I meant to say.
Playoff things.
Speaking of which, though, keep track of the schedule, guys, using the Score Esports app. That's going to be going for the schedule today. For Tuesday, what we have coming up, all the stats that we have for the matches that are played, you can get that through the Google Play or the App Store for your mobile devices. But it is going to be, like we said, Cloud9, now they have one win. They're one win above teams like Liquid and Selfless, who are playing each other later on today, but at least now they've given themselves a little bit of leg to stand on and move forward and gain kind of, a bigger advantage to make these playoffs.
And even if the worst should happen here now, they're going to be in a much more secure position in the event they end up tying with a couple more teams here just by having that one extra victory in what you could arguably say would be the harder set that they had left in their season so far.
Yeah, because they do play Kona, you said, I believe it was?
Yeah, so
yes, this will be
90% chance they're going to 2-0 that one.
Yeah, and this is the thing now, because they can also still catch up to, it's not just making the playoffs, but they can, teams like Energy, they're still Optic, they're still very much, you can still very much catch up and overtake them in the standings. So like Liquid, or Luminosity seems to have a grasp on that first seed. It's not set in stone just yet, but the other teams are still very much susceptible to getting jumped over.
Yeah. So now that we see Cloud9 getting themselves into a better position, we're going to head on to Overpass. And there's a lot of issues. Let's talk about Splyce for a second here, too, and their own performance in that matchup. Splyce, a lot of issues, just a lot of team-based issues, not really a lot of individual stuff. But, the first thing that comes to mind on the T side for Splyce is Davey being so successful with his own sort of lurking and getting control of drop, and the more harder areas taking control of against C9, but his team not using any of that for the entire half, it would seem, just sort of doing their own thing separately from him.
They seem very much, because we mentioned that they had played very, very well, especially on Kabul against CLG just this past week. And they what it came down to was the fact that even tonight against Cloud9 on Kabul, they had success on the entries. Not just Davey towards drop, but they had success on some of the entries. They just couldn't close out the rounds from there. And that never, against CLG, those entries turned into rounds one, and that eventually just destroyed and shattered the economy of CLG. So it was a situation where, since they could never take advantage of it against Cloud9, eventually, once the ops came out, Skadoodle was just on fire. Looked very, very good. Stewie with his own op was being effective at getting some of the early kills, not stringing too many together, but they were just able to wipe things up. So Splyce on Overpass, you're going to expect they need to have a much, much better game plan.
And that is the player to watch for this one is going to be Skadoodle now, as he had an absolutely miraculous game back over there, holding control of the A-bomb site. All those ramp pushes towards the A site just could not be stopped by him. There's only a couple times where he actually ended up going down. Very secure with himself, too, and falling back when he needs to. And over here on Overpass, specifically on that CT side, he's probably going to be able to do even more of that here.
Yep, so you can see with that win, Cloud9 goes to 13-6, Splyce falls to 7-12. Not too big of an issue for them because they didn't really have any chance of making the playoffs. All they can really do is, much like we saw last night, they could play spoiler, but so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It is going to be an Overpass, though, as we mentioned. And we are starting to get the players in the server, but, we said Skadoodle after that game, there's no reason not to list him as the player to watch. He was phenomenal, and still Overpass is a place where the Oppers can be heavily dominant, can really control where a terrorist team can go on the map, the aggression they can have. Jason R., we have him as the player to watch for Splyce. We've talked a lot about Davey. He was the one with the entries. He was the one that's got to pick things up if they want to have some kind of success, because he's the one who really prompted them against CLG earlier with 2, 3, even some 4-kill rounds early on in the half to give them such a massive lead going forward, or a massive strength into the half. Both teams undefeated on Overpass this season, which bodes well to have a good game. So hopefully Splyce comes in with a little bit more prepared. The knife round did just complete, so we're going to get it in game as soon as possible. But Splyce did win that, so you imagine they're going to take that CT side.
And with that, that's a big advantage to use to start off here now. Not going to have to worry about all the issues that showed up on their T side back over on Overpass, but we didn't really see all that much of the CT side. From what we did see, though, obviously, just in the overall amount of rounds that they were able to pick up, much better contention against C9, so maybe putting up a better start. But actually, no, it doesn't look like they're choosing to start on the CT side at all. They're going to stick to the T side.
Why not?
And choose to begin here, see what they can work with. Or C9 will actually gain the advantage, you would think, by starting on the CT side.
Yeah, this is just got to tell you that Splyce just feels a little bit more comfortable on their T sides. Yeah. So choosing to go on the side that's going to give them the biggest lead first. Live into the pistol round. much like on Combo, it seems like Splyce is going to stay pretty grouped up. 4 members over towards the B bomb site. Professor Chaos is under a lot of pressure. He gets dropped by Stewie and Scoodle, but there it is. There's the hit on the B site. Abe finds that first kill, and Shroud's in the open. And he's going to stay in the open. He's going to push forward instead of flying back, and it works out. He gets 2 kills. That's incredible. He's alive still. The Splyce, this is a disaster. This hasn't worked out. Now the flank's in, and Shroud has just schooled Splyce in the pistol. Arya might be able to get a plant off, but Cloud9 is hot on his heels. He's going to try and at least get the bonus money. There's no real chance of him winning the round, and it is going to work out. He at least gets that $800, and it's Irakanji to just execute Arya at the end.
And they're just going to waltz right in there, grab the defuse, even with a kit. Or actually, no kit. So Irakanji just wants his teammate to take that over. So they are going to be able to grab that, though. Bragging about it a little bit as C9 shut that down, mainly off of the hands of Shroud doing all of that work, but Stewie helping out where needed there too, just to make sure those final 2 players do go down. So nicely done by C9. They get control of things early on in this one, and they'll be taking the pistol round.
That is so sick from Shroud. In my head, when I'm watching that, I'm just like, why is he pushing forward? Why is he just going to stay in the open? And it all gets solved by a couple nice headshots. Big round from him, and now you see not a lot of SMGs coming out for Cloud9. They do get 2 at the end. Scoodle and Shroud are going to pick those up, but it's 3 FAMASes.
I think they know the force is going to be coming in the 3rd round, so just looking to get the guns in their hands here, trying not to drop them to the best of their own ability, and then they'll be ready for that gun round without having to really spend all that much extra cash. Pretty passive holds here too, with the exception of the guys that did pick up the SMGs, so just try not to risk the rifles.
Here's some utility usage to try and slow down Splyce. They're going to run right through it. It doesn't work out too well for Jason R, but Davey at least gets the trade, and now Scoodle chimes in with the MP7. Him and Nothing are here to slow things down, and it's all over. So Abe, all he has left to do is die. We are going to see that 3rd round buy. This is where the AKs will come out, and like you said, this is why they have the FAMASes over mass SMG, because they know it's coming.
And Splyce investing, of course, now into this round. Not really a whole lot of utility, unfortunately, being brought into the 3rd round because of the fact that I don't believe they were able to get a plant in that previous round. But we are still going to see those rifles, armor behind it all too, and a decent amount of smoke, so they can try to work a usual take. Just not going to have a whole lot for the post plant, unfortunately.
Aggression from C9. Nothing, and Stewie taking over the underpass down those stairs. It's smoked off, and look at the boost. Works out perfectly. Jason R gets caught in the open. Nothing even pushes through, and he's going to be towards short sewers to watch the door. That at least slows down Splyce. And actually, even Stewie has gone through it. All 4 members, and this is because Scoodle has pushed up so far. Look at this position. I highly doubt anyone from Splyce expects this. So with this kind of information, they can freely fall back. And Scoodle, there's a free kill. I think Abe only got 1 bullet off, and it was way off the mark.
Abe had no clue someone was going to be that far pushed up. So Nothing even spots Ari too, but Ari also saw him jumping up. A couple trades going back and forth, but nobody really doing a significant amount of damage. Splyce looking for a way to regroup and get themselves onto a bomb site here, but C9 restricting them so heavily because they have that utility advantage right now. They were going to try to go out of connector, but that's been mollied. They're boxed into that. And the other 2 players, the bomb itself is still actually pushing out of the connector possibly. He's changed his mind now. He's going to regroup with his teammates, but if he had left himself overexposed there and someone shut him down, that would have been the end of the round.
Well, it still essentially is the end of the round because Scoodle gets that kill. It's taken Splyce about 30 seconds to come back and just regain control of Fountain and Party. Professor Chaos is going to push up towards bathrooms. It's a 3-on-5 scenario, so Cloud9 just falling back, turtling into the site, letting them have control, and Davy's got to be very aggressive. 20 seconds left on the clock. Flash the stream over. Counter flash, though, is perfect. Stewie finds that kill. So 2-on-5, and this has been a very well-crafted round from C9.
Professor Chaos moving his way out here. They're going to attempt to go for the take, but Cloud9, they have already rotated over here. They're ready to try and hold this. The guys on Splyce mainly just trying to force a plan if they can find one. They'll succeed in getting that. And Ari trying to swoop away in the smoke, but it's not going to work out. They managed to shut it down here from the side of C9 without losing a single player on this round. And then we'll go 3-0 to start off.
Yeah, sick stuff. No one falls, so that buy does absolutely nothing for Splyce, and that's a little bit scary because now, unlike Cobble, well, on Cobble, Cloud9 never really got a good bank going. They never really got good investment. They always were in kind of danger of having a low economy if they were to lose a round. This time, with taking no losses in the first gun round, everyone is essentially sitting, everyone except for Scoodle is over like 6K before they buy. So now it's going to start melting away, but still a good amount of money built up for at least 2 rounds.
And Splyce, a decision to be made here, whether they want to try to go for this again or just try to save up. And it looks like they are going to decide to just a light upgrade this time around, just upgrading their pistols and buying up armor behind it. So not going to spend a whole load of money, not going to completely buy out in the attempt of breaking C9 since they really can't do it in this round. They'll see what they can work with this one, and then they'll save up for the next round. They should have a much bigger losing bonus, and if they can get a plant, they'll be in a perfectly secure position to go for a full buy.
4 members in the Underpass. Light armor and upgraded pistols. No smokes on the Splyce side. They've got 2 flashbangs to work with.
Ooh.
That's a nice shot on a Shroud.
Davey, nicely done on that one. Connects him on a Shroud. He's been dinked.
I'll take it.
And the rest of his team going to move themselves up to the top of Connector. Ready to explode out here. And keep in mind, too, C9's being very passive. There's no risk in this, but Splyce still sticking to the much more passive tendencies that we saw a lot of back over on Cobblestone 2. So this could get punished here in a moment. Stewie not really going to be hit by that flash. He's free to fire out. Him and Skadoodle pick up 2 kills back-to-back. The third one comes out from Skadoodle. And we are going to see Professor Chaos rolling out. Tries to surprise, just doesn't work at all. And Stewie, he knows the location of Davey here. He rolls out. Davey actually does end up taking down Stewie. But it's the same situation now as we had in that last round, where it's 1 versus the world. And he really does not have a whole lot of ground to work with.
It's not a bad loss either, because Stewie, while he didn't need to die there, I mean, Skadoodle can drop over the M4 and get the AWP if he chooses to. That might be what they go for, because it is almost, it's close to the full losing bonus. So actually, Davey could get an AWP if he wanted. He did go glass cannon on a Cobble with it. This is exactly what happens. So Stewie passes over the AWP to Skadoodle. No AWP on the Splyce side. 5 AK-47s that can be a little bit faster paced, a little bit more mobile. And the question becomes, what is Skadoodle going to do? He has the AWP. He's pushing up highway, just smokes off towards Fountain and falls back. So just to buy a little bit of time. With no teammates there, he couldn't really stick around because no one's covering bathrooms, and it's aggressive control from Splyce to come up these stairwells and take over bathroom, which is, I mean, they already have it. 1.5 minutes in the round, they have full control towards this A site. So this is pretty solid from Splyce so far.
Now Splyce, they'll try to move themselves forward here. Flashbangs have gone out. Early warnings to a certain degree here for C9, but they're not expecting any pressure to come anytime soon here. Stewie just trying to shift back and forth, but now the smokes boil in. They're ready to roll for an A take. And that's also going to signal for C9 to rotate in pretty heavily here as well. They push forward. Not anybody moving in past those smokes as of yet. Cloud9 have actually done a good job of restricting this. And Stewie looking to get aggressive, but E2 is going to get re-flashed there, so he needs to pull away from this one. Now he's on top of it, though, and look at that. Finds 2, and they're still not going to take him down. Scratch that. Jason R does actually manage to grab him just before he falls back behind cover there. But it's into a 4-on-3. Still no plan has come in as of yet for the Splyce members. And Skadoodle should have gotten that kill, but Abe's actually going to deck him. Shroud responds by picking one up, but Abe's still making progress. Now pushed up the semis. He takes down Shroud. A 2-on-2. Irokanji has a good position. Currently nobody really looking towards him, but he needs to push further out. And if he does that, that's going to push him out of the smoke. Davey actually might have spotted him here in a moment. But there we go. He's going to see him, but nothing. Wins the duel. Gets the intel out quickly enough, so Irokanji's going to get that assistance. And it will all fall to Abe. He's already found 2 kills and gave Splyce a lot of this momentum to get onto the bomb site. But now he's alone. And is going up against 2 C9 members, which haven't really taken a whole lot of damage, and they have a lot of utility to pull off this retake in a 2 versus 1 scenario.
Abe did a lot to pull him back into this round, but this might be too much to ask for. He pretty much neutralized the fantastic play of Stewie just to delay that plant. So now he's trying to find out, but he doesn't have a lot of time to make his move, so he's at least going to get the plant down. There's no way that Cloud9 can stop this, but oh, they don't know where he is. That's a 6 shot onto nothing, and he almost makes it doable. So Irokanji does save the round and the AWP for Skadoodle into the next one. That's the big thing. That essentially was Stewie all alone that round, defending that bomb site. Because of the execution, because of that wall of smokes that was put up by Splyce, the AWP of Skadoodle got completely neutralized. He could find nothing. And now with the full losing bonus and with the plant, Splyce can buy right back up into this round. Have a lot of money built up. Still no AWP is going to be on the field for him, though.
Struggling to really utilize that properly on the T side, and obviously, again, the money is going to be a little bit more stringent here now that they have not been able to string any rounds together as of yet. So Splyce will continue to split, doing a 2-on-2 here, having Abe go down inside of the tunnels and watching for any aggression from C9 inside of that connector. 2 more outside of Monster. Then the other 2 with a much slower push, moving over towards long A. At this point in time, going to get control of that one, but no decision as of yet. Splyce are just trying to slow play this, trying to see if they can find an early kill if they can grab one. Then they'll solidify and push towards one of the sites at a later point in this round.
It is a little bit interesting. The bomb is on Arya over towards the A site and bathrooms. 3 members of Splyce over towards B, so this might be some kind of a posture. We saw a couple rounds on Cobble where Cloud9 over-rotated. It was notably on the 2 4 spots that they won. Irokanji does spot out of presence. Still Arya and Jason R. Jason R is actually, they're going to stick around, so more than likely Splyce has got to drop someone back down those stairs to meet up towards the B bomb site. That's exactly what's going to happen, so it's Arya who's got to put some pressure on this A site. But it's not going to pull anything if they don't there's not enough nades to really make it a fake execute. Arya's got to get a kill here to force this, and actually Shroud has been pulled over. So Cloud9 again biting on this, but nothing. He chimes in with 1 kill. He's the only one at the B site. He's got so much to deal with. That smoke has faded. He's got no more cover, but the movement is really well done. Nothing, staying on top of things. 3 kills for him, holding this off. Davy's the last one left, and nothing. 4 kills for him. A beautiful round. 6-0 now for Cloud9.
And it was that flashbang that hit Ari up on the A-bomb site too. You saw him moving in. He wanted to look for a kill to draw rotations back to the A-bomb site, but P gets flashed, and that actually stops him in the smoke. And that's when we see the first player on Splyce going down when he attempts to re-enter in through construction. So as soon as they get that kill, the fake attempt, or rather the Arya attempting to move in and draw some rotations back to the A-bomb site is pointless now, because they know it's going to be hit to the B-bomb site regardless. And from that point forward, it's a shutdown, mainly at the hands of nothing. Skadoodle going down into connector, just decks Dave. He's going to get overwhelmed. I don't think he was expecting the push to be that aggressive, but Stewie, he's blind. He's found one of them, and he grabs a second as he recovers, and a third from Stewie, looking for the fourth. Jason R is finally going to take him down, but then nothing rolls back up through the connector and shuts him out.
Can't find the op, though. Gonna have to reinvest, but there's plenty of money. Urkanji's got 14,000, nothing at 12,000. Really nice first shot from Skadoodle, but there had to have been some miscommunication of how Stewie was watching that fountain, the stairwell, because he came up and did not expect players to be that close. He gets punished. Either way, they still survived the round. 7-0. Another buy for Splyce. Still no AWP. And I think if they lose this one, they're going to have to take a pause before their next gun round. They'll have to talk something over. Cloud9's going to have complete control. Skadoodle and Stewie can start rotating back already because Irakanji's got such advanced position out towards playground. Coming out of door, Splyce has control of these short sewers, and they're lining up for the execute. Shroud and Nothing playing it pretty passively, just spamming through at the moment. They're going to have to retake this bomb site.
Still jumping to see if they can find anything there, but this time the smoke coverage is much better. However, Shroud able to hold, picks up that first kill. Now more of them take control. Professor Chaos sneaking out of that smoke on the right. He finds one, and Shroud's moved in, tried to pick up his own kill, but he couldn't grab one. Only Nothing finds the second one as he eliminates Professor Chaos. But beyond this, Davey and Abe strike back. Still Nothing and Shroud up and alive, and Nothing's been doing good this game. Shroud, too, of course, still in as usual. He's up to 3 kills already. Nothing stuck in, taps the bomb. It's all on Arya, but firing out only reveals his position. So Shroud is going to dominate the playing field here on that B-bomb side. He grabs a 4K this time, and Cloud9 still remain flawless.
Yeah, really well managed by Cloud9 once that execute comes in. Just playing it passive behind the smoke, Shroud and Nothing, just staying alive, not overextending, not trying to jump through. Also, because of the full losing bonus that's already built up, there's no reason to really be too aggressive to stop that plant. They're going to have the money to buy AKs the next round anyways. Just got to be a little bit cautious in how you extend in some of those situations, and Cloud9 did it perfectly there. Nothing does have an M4. Looked like he had to pick that up. He might have forgot it in spawn. So Splyce still laying a goose egg. No rounds on the board quite yet. Abe watching Underpass, all 4 members of Splyce out towards the B bomb site. This is kind of what punished them last round. They had no presence towards A, they had no presence towards bathroom, so Cloud9 was able to have a good jump on the rotate because they had all the intel of what was coming.
A lot of pressure in the connector here this time around from the guys on Splyce. They've got 2 players committed to it right now. They had the bomb there a moment ago, but it's since fallen back and has now shifted its way over here towards Party, with Arya also assisting this one. The guys on Splyce will look to get control and move through short A to find a path to the A bomb site. But because of the current positioning, there is also a very simple option of just throwing some grenades up to that A bomb site, sounding the alarms for C9 members to hopefully draw some fake rotates, and then actually heading back down through that connector to go for a B take as well. Multiple options here for Splyce. And as they've shown, not only in this map so far, but in the previous map too, they are a team that likes to run the clock down if they can. And while still playing things together, they'll try to go for as late of an execute as possible.
Stewie's in a very tough spot, though. There's 2 members back in the A bomb site, but he's very much alone at the moment. Especially now with these smokes. Oh, it's a nice flash for him. They line up. Can he spray down a second? He can't, but Skadoodle does get one. He's brought Arya down to 3 HP. Play from Davey coming up long might not be enough. Looks like Cloud9 has a good defense, a good chance of just holding off here. Skadoodle on top of the bomb site. No one's going to clean him out. Free kill.
Nothing they can do there. Unfortunately, the smoke's a little bit out of position, so they will not be finding the plant, and C9 shut another round down without really any response at all coming in for Splyce. Just look at the money now for Cloud9. Post-buy, you have 3 players over $10,000. Shroud, I'm pretty sure, was at max money at the beginning of this round. Yeah, he was. And even for those that are lower, Stewie, who has to rebuy because he's a much more aggressive CT-sided player, he's sitting a lot lower, but that can easily be made up for by the rest of his team.
Yeah, this is good stuff. I mean, it was Stewie who throws a wrench in the plans that execute, getting aggressive, and now what's left? A B rush. Shroud does massive damage. Arya is going to burn. There's no mercy from Cloud9. Shroud through the smoke as well. And now Stewie, he wants more kills, but he gets stopped by Davey for the moment. 4 on 2. They've been shut out, and nothing somehow just finds a Tech9 kill through the smoke. Why not? Everything's going right for them at the moment. Davey, he's feeling the pressure. He knows they're going to chase him down.
Nothing left for him to do besides hiding behind a dumpster. Nice little one tap there to be able to find nothing at the very least, but with a lead this much in the favor of C9 at this point, dropping guns and getting a sort of economical victory, quote unquote, is not really even going to be something that you can take home at the end of the day anymore. They need to start stacking up some rounds, otherwise C9 are going to have absolute control of this map.
Yeah, Shroud's rotated back as well to cut off any kind of rotation from Davey. His options are very limited. Although because he can still go stairwell, Shroud just has to fall back to the A site. Davey's going to slow play it though. And he could actually catch Irakanji off guard. Although Irakanji, that's the X-ray. He's still not kind of pushed up, so gonna fall back a little bit, has an off angle. Davey just gonna see what he can do. 30 seconds left. Once he gets this kill, he's just gonna have to sprint, if he can even get it. That's the first part. That's the tough part. And Irakanji's just gonna spot him here, and he's prepared for it. He pre-fires, but Davey reacts much, much better. Jumps over the op of Skadoodle. Style points there, but he's still got a long way to go.
And Skadoodle can just hang back too with the looming threat of Shroud up in heaven. Shroud's going to connect the shot anyway, so I was going to say it'll stop him from going for the plant, but Shroud's going to deck him down, and now C9 double digits with Splyce not having a single round on the board, and finally they're going to take a pause.
Yeah, might be too little too late, because Cloud9, it's not only the 10-0 lead, but it's also the money that we've mentioned is so built up. It's just like, what do you do from here? You can't take a pause to win 5 rounds in a row. You know, it doesn't even seem like they haven't really gotten close to winning many rounds. So they've got a lot to figure out in a very short amount of time, and they have to be able to do it consistently over the next 5.
There's really been like 2 or 3 rounds that have come down to them saying like, okay, maybe we could have won this at the end of the day. Most of them have just been, they just get destroyed in the early rounds. They attempt to do a take, and if anybody escapes, then it's a race to try and find a plant so they can try and get some extra money to justify going for a force in the round after that.
Yeah, and this is a really good form of Cloud9 coming out tonight to be just so dominant over Splyce. Stewie's at 14-7, Nothing at 13-3, Shroud at 12-1. Skadoodle's been pretty quiet, 8 kills for him, and then Irakanji at 3. But they're just decking everyone. I mean, this is the big thing. Because that money is built up so far, it's very obvious to just say not enough kills coming out for the Splyce side. That's just the way it is. I think they have 3 players combining for 5 total kills. It's not a pretty sight on that side of the map.
But it's Davey that leads the charge again for these guys.
Yeah.
Again, doing a great job. Has actually been still fragging out quite nicely. It's just he's the only one that really seems to be having a consistent semblance of that. And even that's not too great, having 6 frags.
Well, the bad part about that is that he is the lurker. So his play, if he's going to be this kind of a lurk style, is directly impacted by the rest of his teammates and the success they have. But when they're not having that success, and they're not forcing rotates, when they're not forcing movement in the defense, Davy's style of lurk is very, very ineffective. 3 ops now for the Cloud9 side.
Clearly the confidence is brimming at this point. So they are going to be willing to play around with that a little bit.
But, I mean, this is the round. Maybe Splyce is saying, all right, we didn't win any gun rounds on T-side Cobble either, so let's just go to the pistols. Maybe we can win one that way.
Possibly. It's probably going to be as good of a chance at this point now. I feel like we said before, they keep slow playing things. They keep looking for a much more complex way into the site. When they were on those force buys back on Cobblestone, they weren't trying to do that. They were just rushing into the site, and that worked out so much better for them because they overwhelmed the members of C9, and they just weren't prepared for that fast of a play. If they tried doing it in a gun round, I feel like it would go so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it could. At this point, though, you've got to say. The thing is that some of the aggression from Cloud9 is probably dissuading them from doing that. Some of the pushes out towards Fountain, a couple times, Zoodles had that quick flank very early on in the half. That's very off-putting to Splyce. When you're thinking of what you want to do in the future, and you know that they're willing to be highly aggressive, it kind of is a little bit intimidating when you want to try and do something fast towards one of the sites, because you lose a lot of composure, you lose a lot of control in how those early rounds play out if you're just planning on being very, very fast-paced.
So Cloud9. Still flawless as of yet here in this map versus Splyce. We're going to go for a push, and there's that aggression that we were talking about before. Skadoodle moves out, catches the first kill into Jason Art, looking for another one. It's going to be Irakanji that finds it, and Stewie up close and personal. Shuts down both Abe and Professor Chaos. The last one alive is going to be Davey. Has a good angle here, and Irakanji's looking for him. That's not the case, but there's Skadoodle now. Pushes up, manages to find the final frag onto Davey, and there's the 11th pickup here for C9. Yep,
there it is. Fast play gets just punished. And Irakanji, even though lost the op, even though he's not necessarily an opper, he goes right back to it. So nice 11-0 lead for Cloud9. Finally, the op comes out for Splyce. Maybe this is the response. Maybe, I mean, that could partially be why they took that pause and just, you know, use pistols. Is they're like, all right, let's just get an op on board because we haven't had it yet this half, and we're down a lot. So we'll see if that changes anything.
It's going to be Davey alone with it, though. So for the time being, the lurking op with the other 4 players moving in with AKs over towards long A, and not really anybody else going anywhere else on the map either. But there we go. Davey opens it up, shuts down here. Kanji finds the first kill. Unfortunately, though, everybody on C9 is very well aware at this point that Davey is oftentimes just the lone lurker, so it's not going to draw any rotations. These nades coming onto the A-bomb site, that will, because I think they're getting a read on the fact that this is going to be a take towards this site more than likely.
Oh, and Skidoo just pegs Arya down to 20 HP. Saw the arm flick out, so the smoke does come out, but Cloud9's very aware that he was lining up for an execution. And with full control of bathrooms, full control of stairwells, Splyce could choose to fall back. Door opening, Shroud sees everything, so no one's moved away from that A-bomb site. And in fact, Shroud's just going to give it up. He's going to come right back. They feel no pressure at B. They actually completely evacuate, it looks like. But Shroud's going to stick around with the AWP. Still Splyce just waiting patiently.
I mean, they know at this point. They know exactly what Splyce is going to try to throw at them, so there's no reason not to really do that. The bomb still has not moved down through connector. I think Davey's going to try to take one more chance at it there, but if we did end up seeing Shroud take it down, then there we go. This is actually nice from Splyce because Splyce is trying to play the mind game against C9 a little bit. They're going to rotate back down, and they should, depending on Shroud's position, be able to actually get into this site with no conflict at all. Looks like Shroud pulled away from that heaven spot, so they will actually get in here with, without having to kill anybody on C9, essentially.
Well, they're going to have to kill him now. Nothing comes over, and Abe does just that. Going to go for more, and this is where it gets a little bit scary. 2 ops on a retake towards this B bomb site. That's not going to go well. There's even 1 lurk coming down from A. It's going to be on Arya. He's slow playing it, but Cloud9 still can't make too much progress because they're not aggressive with these ops. Davey's going to win 1 more fight, and Arya's a little bit bummed out. He couldn't get that kill. And there it is, Davey with a triple kill so far, and he goes for 4 through the wall. So they finally get it, and it pays dividends. 4 kills. Now they have a double op setup. 2 is better than 1, hopefully. But still, a lot of money on the C9 side. No issue for them to buying. But that triple op setup that they bought into twice is going to savage Kanji's bank. He's down to 2,500 after this buy. So the money's actually starting to dwindle pretty quickly. Not even going for a double op setup either.
C9, though, already up to 11 rounds. And also, if they can win this one, they'll just reset Splyce's economy and be free to pick up plenty more after this one to close out the half. But Splyce have finally found the strat, which has worked for them. Mind gaming C9 a little bit here, forced them to fall back, but right back to ground zero as far as the starting round is concerned, as Skidoo finds the opening kill into Abe again, and that is immediately going to cause a movement speed shift here on Splyce. A lot of their players are probably going to move a lot slower because they've lost one of their guys so early on.
Nice peek from Stewie. Him and Skidoo, very efficient defense, just trading aggression, juggling it and getting 3 kills, and now Davey. Have fun lurking now. They line up, but that nade obscures his vision. Stewie's going to be aggressive still and sprays down Professor Cast from long range. Salvage the AWP. It's clinical from C9. They're up to 12-1, and like you said, they reset the economy. And Splyce pretty much has to buy no matter how much money they have, no matter what. So Davey and Arya on AK-47s, 3 Tech 9s surround those, but it's not looking likely.
Force up from Splyce, one of their last attempts to really try and get back into this game a little bit here, but it's C9 for 12 rounds, and 11 of them being in a row here before Splyce were even to rack up 1 in a row. So now we're just going to see Stu. All right.
That's sick.
Stewie just goes down inside connector, pass with Abe and Arya. Davey does respond, but Shroud right after that finds the trade. Professor Chaos and Jay Snar, the final 2 left alive. Bit of an awkward exchange there in the tunnels since Professor Chaos walks out, and, well, Stewie walks in. Neither of them noticed each other, it would seem.
They just ran right by each other. Stewie's only got 12 HP, and he doesn't know how he's gotten out of this alive, but he'll be happy. He's just going to flank around towards the B bomb site. Jason and Professor Chaos still can't figure out where they want to go. Nothing, and Shroud manning down B. Skidoo looking at the top of the stairs, and Stewie is all the way back towards T-spawn, so they have him boxed in pretty heavily at the moment.
For the time being, Splyce back to the waiting game for these guys, since I think Professor Chaos knows that someone did end up sneaking past them, so they're careful of that flank. And overall here, of course, with it being in the 2v4, there's not a whole lot of safe spaces on the map for these guys to utilize.
Yeah, and they're eating up a lot of time just trying to clear this out to make sure they can't have a quick flank, but they can't clear out everything. Stewie's going to have a fast flank if they go towards that B bomb site, so it's kind of a gamble for Splyce right now. And even look at Cloud9, because of the position that Stewie's in, Nothing rotates away. He's going to join Skadoodle, and Skadoodle's already got the intel. He does miss his shot. Going to go for another one. He legs Professor Chaos, but he's still alive. Buying time, flashes, smokes are out, and now the M4 is here. That's an easy kill. And it's a 1-on-4 situation with just a Tech-9.
Jason R looking for a way into the site, but everything's working against him now. The flashbang rolls over. They peeked out, though, and there's that flank from Stewie. Took a while to really be effective, but finally does end up being so at the end of the round, as he's going to close it out. C9 find a 13th round for themselves, and Splyce still with nothing after forcing up in that last round. They're going to do it again here since it's the final round of the half, but ultimately, even if it goes 13-2, they're fighting back against a maelstrom in that second half.
All pistols, auto sniper out for Irakanji. He is going to take that over towards the B bomb site. Stewie again is going to go down the stairs, but he comes right back up. So no commit, nothing's going to get aggressive, and he gets caught off by Davey. There's a good find. There's the auto sniper though. Davey's down. Heavy hitter for Splyce is out of the game. Cloud9, they're still split. 2 members at each bomb site. And Splyce hasn't figured out where they want to go quite yet.
As they hold up the pressure now. Again, watching to see if anybody on C9 gets over-aggressive, anybody peeks out from long A, or even moves in towards the bathrooms there, which they can use to re-equalize things and get a man going in their favor. But it probably will not pan out. They've got smokes, and you can see, there they go. They're tossing them into that A-bomb site. They'll go for the execute. Ari as well, ready to sneak in through long A. But it'll be a very slow and sluggish push here since they're so timid of themselves. Skadoodle even getting aggressive now. He's pushed up. He knows they're going to go for it. Misses that first shot. He is being flanked from semi now as they wrap around. Professor Chaos is blind, but Skadoodle can't connect any shots. Shot comes in to bail him out, but Ari and Abe have picked up 2 kills. Now Skadoodle can frag, picks up 1. This is another one. He's having trouble. Sort of connects one on a Jason R. Now just trying to finish him off on his lonesome there, and he's going to succeed in doing so. C9 will end things 14-1. Only dropping 1 round in the entire half here.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you miss a million shots if they can't connect their own. That was, I don't know how Skadoodle survived that long, but he managed to get 2 kills out of it as well. So 14 for Cloud9 going into the second half. This could be over very, very quickly. Splyce just could never get anything going. And it just does, I mean, if we went back towards Kabul, what would we say? They won 1 gun round, 0 gun rounds in these 2 maps?
I think at most, yeah, like 1 or 2.
Had to have
on their
been,
T side.
Yeah, had to have been.
I think they won a couple more. They won a couple more on the CT side.
Yeah, well, on their T sides, yeah. I mean, really, we'll just say they had no game plan that worked out for them. They just got shut down entirely by Cloud9. It was good performances. The aggression on the CT side on this map from C9, Splyce just couldn't handle it. Shuts down everything before they get a chance to begin. So really, really sick stuff coming into the second map, and you could tell Cloud9 not in the mood to drop anything. They want to get back towards Pro League playoffs because one of the most storied, I guess you could call it teams that we've had in North America and organizations was this core that had nothing involved in it, and they just missed their. They missed their first Pro League land last season, so that's got to be a little bit of bond. That's got to be eating away with them. Sean was still on the team when that happened, and 3 members of Splyce are here. Shroud, when's he going to spot this? Bad timing, pulls a nade out. He's down so low. Davey going to get aggressive with those dualies. He's going to get caught into a fight, though. Nothing cleans him out. They know his second one is there, and they've already taken the B site, so Irakanji is going to do his best. Can't find the kill, but Splyce has gotten a couple, so Cloud9 is surrounded in this bomb site. Even Jason R on short. This is going to be so tough for C9.
2 kills to 1 more traded out. It's all on Stewie now to clutch things out in the 1v3. He's being overwhelmed, and it's going to be Jason R that finds the final kill. Splyce stay alive for the time being, as they will win the pistol in the second round. Or second half. Apologies.
No plant even for Cloud9, so they just got boxed into that site, and they took too many losses trying to get in. Still a long way to go. Splyce has got to have a monster run coming up in this half, and Cloud9's going to buy into this next round. Everyone's got upgraded pistol and armor except for Skadoodle, saving up for that op. He only has a smoke to utilize. Splyce is sending... They have 4 members here, essentially, at this B bomb site, so this might not go very well for C9. I'd be very shocked, and Davey is on a flank. He's just not stopping, and these are kind of the plays that Cloud9's going to have to worry about in this half, is because they're down so much, it's just going to be like, let's make plays. Let's just see what happens. Let's push forward. If we get killed, I mean, whatever, but the payoff would be huge if it works out.
Nothing does find one with the Deagle. Trades are coming in, though, and this is not what C9 need, but they're down in a 2 versus 3 situation. As they waltz in, there's Abe with the first pickup, and he finds the second one in the Shroud when he tries to push in from construction. So they do close out their second round now, without Cloud9 being able to respond on their aggressive force up. So they'll have to save for this one. Then they get the AKs into their hands, of course. And that's when it gets tough, almost immediately once again for Splyce.
Yeah, but Cloud9 doesn't do a good job of getting kills, of whittling down the economy. Look at all the utility that Splyce is bringing into this next round. I would be very, very surprised if Cloud9 finds anything. All they really have is a deagle on Skadoodle. Maybe a clean, lucky headshot or something to start things off. But if they ever try and get close to a bomb site, HEs and Molotovs are just going to slow them down and deal so much damage. And look at that one. Speaking of which, nothing down to 20. Stewie at 60. That's a sick nade. And now a range from Davey. He can pick him apart.
Professor Chaos coming to bail out Davey too as he turned his back just a little bit too soon, but he's able to support the final three. So I think as before, they're sort of stuck right now outside of Party, and Arya, though, not going to let him get out of that spot as he shuts down 2 of the remaining 3. And Irukandji with only 3 HP, not a whole lot that he can do. So Jason R will find him, shut him down. It'll be 4-14 as we head into the first gun round for C9 in the second half. Nothing to worry about as of yet, though, for C9. Still 10 rounds ahead, and that's only to tie it up. It would need to be 12 straight from Splyce to actually win this game.
You put it that way, it just doesn't seem very likely, Blue.
Well, just a realist.
2 hops out for Splyce on Arya and on Davey. Skadoodle's got one of his own. It's Glass Cannon. And Davey trying to jump up. Delayed aggression up here, but Irukandji peeks. I don't even think he saw him, so that could be a little bit scary. The other op is on Arya, which is pushed out towards long. He's trying to grab an angle. He could get pop flash, but there's Skadoodle waiting for it. Now Davey's got to bail out, but he's not going to. He's going to stay aggressive. He's going to try and make a play. Swings out to his right, misses the shot. Now he has to follow it. Yeah, but maybe not. Maybe just continue to go for more. And that's what happens. Skadoodle says no. There's Shroud with 1 kill and a second, and this is a very clean and easy first gun round for Cloud9.
The dream is dead for Splyce.
They've still got overtime.
How many is that in a row? 11 straight?
Yes.
Absolutely possible, especially with this buy.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit of a tough buy. Professor Kess and Jason R can each get something, and actually Jason R is being
He's greedy, man.
See, I thought he was going to be a bro and drop that over, because Davey and Arya had the ops in the last round, and maybe they said, you guys didn't get any kills, so you don't deserve these. We're going to see what we get with them. But still, it is a very tough buy. You can see Jason R just jumping around. Davey's going to make the same play with the CZ that he just made with the AWP. Maybe have a little bit more success with it. There's a timer on this, though. That's a nice pop flash. Completely blind. A second one as well. I don't think they're going to clear this up. They are. Stewie's not. Stewie's not going to fall for that.
And now they'll C9 just going to move as a big unit here, too. As soon as they get past the connector, they'll have their players rejoining with them. Nothing may end up sticking around just to make sure they don't get flanked. But for the most part, they've dealt with the storm, and they've just got to get themselves up to that A-bomb site. Professor Chaos, though, actually shuts down nothing. So all of a sudden, the flank wing is opened up. There's someone from Splyce didn't want to push for it.
Much more slow and measured for Cloud9 trying to close this out. They haven't gotten the rifles yet. I do know there's at least 1 op. They might be surprised by 2. So Jason R, it's his turn next to peek. And now they know there's an op at A as well. Abe's going to make the play. He's going to push up towards bathrooms. Irukandji going to be ready for this. This might catch him off guard. He's not going to clear it. So Abe hears these footsteps and says, you know, one probably went downstairs. This is why Arya is getting a little bit more prepared for a play. And there's going to be a quick flank downstairs as it is anyways.
Nobody saw him.
Yeah, I thought Shroud would have actually seen him when he peeked up like that, but there it is. There's the quick wraparound from Abe. Nice play from him in the mid-round, and Cloud9 is split. Looks like Stewie's actually maybe crashed.
Yeah, I think he disconnected.
Sup, Stew?
That's not
It's no fun.
I don't think there's an invisible wall that players can come through there.
A little bit of a bummer for Stewie and Cloud9, but still, like we said, the long way to go for Splyce, so really, it's not like this is a crucially important round just yet.
No, not the end of the world at all. And they keep the AK and the op in play as well. So as soon as we can unpause, because I'm assuming we will go into a pause. Yep, he just disconnected.
I think the disconnect takes the gun with him, though, doesn't it? Because there's that clip of Mo when he was streaming some a pug or scrim when he passes an AK over to a teammate, but it gets caught by the bot, and then the teammate rejoins, and the bot disappears the gun. He freaks out.
Wouldn't the gun have gone into the ground though?
I don't know. I think it disconnected, just disappears. That could be wrong.
DJ, see if the gun's on the ground.
Say please.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Cool. And a Molotov as well.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Bonus.
Good find.
Spirits.
So maybe it's just the bots that steal the guns when they leave the server.
I think it's just the bots. Don't have bots on ESEA.
Yeah, those are jerks.
Greedy.
Bots are dicks. Still, 2 ops for Davey and Jason R. And then the M4s around it. So they do survive a little bit longer at the moment. I was going to say that Cloud9 is doing a good job of getting us back on track to catch Game of Thrones on times. And then Stewie disconnects.
Nah.
It's not going to happen.
What is it, 5 now, I think?
Should I just accept the fact that I'm not going to be seeing Game of Thrones immediately?
Not on time. It's so weird that it's on this early on the West Coast. I'm used to being on like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It's on at like 6 p.m. That's like too early.
That's all right.
Normally, like, watch the shows and then you go to bed. I have to do other things before I go to bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I wasn't going to go there, but...
I don't know what you're talking about. 15-5. This, yeah, this is, look at Scoodle again. 17 and 8, he's having a good night. Nothing as well, 16 kills in this map. He had a good cobble, and then Shroud, 19 and 7. So those 3 players tonight have been very, very good. Stewie disconnected, but he was actually, from what I remember, he was having a very, very, an awesome game.
Yeah, he's actually, on that CT side, actually, he was incredibly good at playing aggressively when he pushed up there. There was multiple rounds where he would catch like 2 or 3, or at the very least, he would catch the push before it actually moved towards the bomb site, and he would just shut it down, or at the very least, act as like the early warning system, and then everybody else in CNN would just rotate back up and shut it down. So he's been incredibly on point. Him, Stewie, and I haven't seen as much of him on this map. There was that good hold he had back on the CT side, but back on the last map there, Nothing was actually doing pretty good too.
Yeah, he did have a slow first half, but the second half he really picked it up. So that was cool to see. And that's one of the big things. It's you know, it goes in the whole conversation of them picking up Slummy, who's probably not known to most people, especially outside the North American scene. But you got to think it also falls into that kind of you know, we've seen it in other teams, but when you have this much firepower, Scoodle, Shroud, and Nothing, you got to say, and even Stewie is starting to get up there. I mean, he's at 24 and 13 in this match, but even in some of his other professional games, we've seen improvement since he's been picked up on this roster. And if he continues to develop that way, he's going to be another highly talented impact player for C9. But you got to say, it doesn't necessarily matter if your 5th is going to be able to frag, because you've got 4 guys who can all be an animal.
All right, guys, well, we're going back into the game now. It's been unpaused. Cloud9 sitting themselves on match point. Still with a good investment coming into this round as well. Whereas Splyce, they're back up to a double op setup now. Davey picks his up, as does Jason R. And for the other guys, they've either got an M4 with a semi-decent amount of utility, or Professor Chaos in his case. He's downgraded, but still with a Molly and everything else he would need to hold this back. Also has note 2, he does have a Zeus. So we'll see what happens with that.
I love the Zeus. Oh, that's
no!
Too easy. It's just too easy. Not like this. Not like this. Cloud9 takes complete control of this B bomb site, and it's going to be tough. Davey at least has a close angle over towards Sandbags. He's got a teammate with him as well. That's the Zeus player. But look at Shroud spamming over. It's actually, if Davey catches that, that'd be incredible. This is the smoke if this fades. Here, Kanji gets a kill elsewhere meanwhile, and there's Shroud. He gets out, and Davey finds him. That's a nice shot. He's got to go for more, but he's not prepared for that angle. He's scoped in so he can't see it. 1 on 2, and Stewie ends it. So 16-5 is the final score. Cloud9 doing their best to get us back on schedule. Good match from Stewie. Good match again from Skittle. Good night for Cloud9 and the individual players, all of them. Players and the team go 2-0. So just increases their chances of making the playoffs. That's what they're here for. So they go 2-0, 2 big wins over Splyce. That'll end this this doubleheader. So when we come back, we will have that next matchup on. That'll be between Team Liquid and Selfless, and you won't want to miss that one, because the team that wins it is more than likely in the playoffs, and the team that loses it more than likely out. So big implications there. That'll be a good matchup. That's when we return, so stay tuned. We'll be back.